Hello, it is I. Oh, right. Let's get some music on the go. Turn it down a bit. Right, that should... Yeah, there we go. Okay. Right. Working on magic items again today, basically. Simple stuff. I have, I think, like 20 odd, like more to do. I think, or actually no, I think it was 20 last week. I think I'm at like 50 now. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hang on, I lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So, not as many as I thought, but I'm basically going to get through as many as I can today, and I'm going to finish up on Wednesday, is the plan. Not 100% that's how that's going to go, but that is the plan. So the next one is the Tome of the Fifth Eye. Wondrous item, legendary. Achievement by sorcerer, warlock, or wizard. This grand tome houses the imprisoned soul. Oh. Hey, I say both of you, welcome in. Going pretty good. Hope things are all right for you. I'm sort of working through some of the last magic items, in case you'd sort of missed me. Basically saying exactly that 30 seconds ago. I don't actually know. I am working on this old tome. It's a sentient item. It has a lot of nonsense going on in it, but we'll deal with that as it comes. Archmage named Gortan the Many-Eyed. Gortan's soul was imprisoned by one of his many disgruntled apprentices. That's kind of interesting. I think that's definitely like a world building kind of thing. That's you could build a world on that principle, or you could redesign the Feywild on that principle at least. Like that's definitely a strong theme to sort of go off of. It's cool. I kind of like more traditional Fey, just as a thing. I'm generally a fan. I'm not super big on the way D&D's cosmology works, just because there's a lot of planes that you could just axe and never think about, ever, and it just wouldn't matter. There's like over half of the planes are just kind of... Yeah, it's pretty cool. I say, certainly in my home game, the cosmology has been like cut down massively. Like there's only 8 outer planes as opposed to like 16 or something. At least I think there's like 16. I don't actually remember. The tome itself is made from black leather and bound in golden bands. living, bright orange eyes sit on the cover of the book. Hang on, let me have a scan through. I like the alignment aspect of all of the planes. I don't like how concrete they are. But I like them on principle. I like that they are created to embody an alignment, but they, yeah, is it like Colt, that's 100% like my reason, my sort of, my argument, argument. You know what I mean? It's my point, is that they're all, like, there's, like, the Beastlands, Arborea, and Eastguard are all, like, the same. And there's, like, cool individual planes that are like, why does this exist? Like, I actually cut Acheron, which I actually really like, but if I had to choose between, as the lawful evil plane, Acheron or the Nine Hells, I think I'm going to pick the Nine Hells, because Acheron, whilst cool as hell, is just a bunch of cubes. You know, like, let me try and find an image of the Great Wheel cosmology. I think it's in the PHB. Hang on. Yes. Yeah. So, you have obviously the material plane, you have the Feywild and the Shadowfell, which I like on principle, but in practice I really don't like the mirror aspect of them. I'm just really not a fan. And the elemental planes are like, they're not very well fleshed out at all. They just need a little bit more, which I've tried to do in sort of my home games, and give them a little bit more sort of character. But I like them. The elemental chaos doesn't really count. It's not really like a place. Yes. Even in the DMG, they say use Shadowfell to spare. Hades, I literally got rid of Hades and combined it with the Shadowfell and just called it Perdition. I got rid of the Beastlands, Arborea, and Eastguard and just made Ferox, which is a combination of those three planes and the Feywild. Or if anything, I just axed those three planes and just put the Feywild there. I kept Elysium, and I kept Bitopia. I put Mount Celestia on Bitopia. Mount Celestia is a Arcadia I kept. And I put Mount Celestia as a location on Arcadia. Limbo I kept, because I actually really like it. Mechanus, I didn't nix it, I just got rid of all the Modrons, because I really hate them. I really hate Modrons, and I just made a new plane. Still has robots on it and stuff, but it's not Mechanus. And then the Nine Hells and the Abyss I kept the same. My only sort of regret is that now the Yugoloths don't really have a home, but it doesn't really make sense for them to have one in the first place. Yeah, pretty good. We're sort of chatting talking about the 5th edition. Is it 5th edition specifically? I think 4th edition uses the same, basically the D&D cosmology and how sort of bloated it is, I guess. But, yeah, so I should, otherwise I am just working on magic items. It's like old stuff getting revamped because it kind of sucks. And I'm fixing it and making it much better. Oh yeah, I say in my home game I've nixed half of the outer planes and just revamped them all. We were just talking about it. I think the guidelines always end up being the default, because like a new DM is, generally speaking at least, going to just use what's in the book, because guidelines are helpful. They make, running the game much easier. It just so happens that the guideline that they give for like planar nonsense is very strange. Like, if you read Blink for the first time, without knowing, like, you like, the ethereal plane, I think, has like a lot of baggage. There's like a lot of spells that interact with it. Blink being the most obvious one, and etherealness as well. And without looking into what the ethereal plane is, it's fucking confusing as hell. I remember being like, we're going back like 5-6 years at this point when I first started playing this game. Just being like, what am I even looking at? Reading like Blink and shit, because all the information you actually need to know for those spells to work, or phase spiders, that's another one, is in the DMG, in the bit about the planes, which you might not read. Yeah, I like it. It's cool. I actually really like the ethereal plane, but it's just, you know, it's the kind of thing where they expect you to know how it works, when no one does. I mean, well, not no one. You go look it up, and then it makes more sense. But up until that point, yeah, it is kind of ridiculous. I do like the way that it works, though. It's one of the few planes that's like, oh, it's a mirror of the material plane. We're actually kind of like that as a trope. Whereas like the Shadowfell and the Feywild have just gone, nah, I'm just gonna nix those and just have them be the Domains of Dread and the Domains of Delight. Yeah, luckily you don't really need to know anything about the Deep Ethereal to actually play the game, but yeah, I do agree. Forcing players to do research before games is like, it's definitely a double-edged sword. It forces your players to learn shit. I tend to find like the next time I run like a custom setting, I'm definitely gonna give a very like a handout. A slightly different version of I replaced the tar with the honey. I forget what layer of hell it is in the Divine Comedy, but I know the trope you're referencing here. So I do kind of love like Dante Alighieri is like the main informant, like is the main sort of proponent for what people think hell is, despite the fact that he's just like a random poet that just made a bunch of shit up. I think there's definitely like grounds for some of the shit in the Divine Comedy, but for the most part he just made it all up, and that's like, I mean, it's certainly not biblical canon, that's for sure, but it is very funny that oh yeah, I forgot about that. I actually really like the default 9 Hells. I'm like the default 5th edition one. I'm a huge fan of it. There are certain like layers and like archdukes which I'm like on, like Mammon. Finding out that Mammon is just a fucking snake guy was the most disappointing thing ever. I'd only ever seen like the Pathfinder art for a long time and assumed that was it. But he's like this gross sort of golden pot-bellied guy. Like he looks like a greedy miser dude with big Tim Curry horns, and it was cool. It was like, oh yeah, that's Mammon. And then no, he's just an idiot snake guy, and I was like, oh okay. There's definitely shit and boring layers of the 9 Hells, but on principle, I really like it. One of the books I'm hoping to put out this year is a book on the lower planes, and just a whole bunch of demons and devils, and statting all of the archdukes. Like, all of them, because they don't have stats. Well, Zariel does. Zariel has, like, 3 sets of stats in 5th edition, which is hilarious. But all of the others do not have stats. And, man, I want to give them stats, because it sounds cool. I want to stat like Asmodeus, you know? That sounds fun. That sounds really fun. I need to go look at Mastermind is, like a lot of rogue subclasses, pretty bad. that's the secret sauce to rogue subclasses is they're all terrible. With some exception. There's Scout is good, Soul Knife is good. Post Tasha's with Booming Blade, Arcane Trickster is good. Otherwise, it's garbage. I forget what the other good one is. Phantom is okay. Phantom is alright. Mastermind is kind of like in the middle, where it gets like useful abilities, but its useful abilities are still not very good. Generally, Mastermind is like oh, there's a Swashbuckler. That's the other good one. Hang on, let me just take a quick glance at the features again real quick. So I remember the level 3. Yeah, so your help action is like, that's good. That's genuinely like a cool ability. But it does kind of force you to play melee, which as a rogue is generally like not super optimal. Yeah, the main thing with rogue is bad as a support because it doesn't actually have any supporting abilities. The main thing with Master of Tactics is you have to sort of stay. You don't want to be in melee because you can't use your bonus action disengage because you want to use Master of Tactics. So you still want to be ranged. You want to use a short bow, and you want to stay in sort of like the sort of 30 to 50 foot range, so you can move in, use Master of Tactics, shoot the guy a couple of times, and then move out. That is like the kind of spacing, because spacing as a rogue is super important, because as a rogue you have like one survival tool in Uncanny Dodge and nothing else. Rogue is like the ride or die class, basically. You have, Uncanny Dodge is a great ability, but man, if you play Mastermind, you either have to not use your subclass just at all and just play a regular rogue without a subclass, or you never get to stealth, like ever. Giving you, like, realistic to use Master of Tactics in a way that is useful, you have to have a good target for it. If you have another rogue in the party, there you go. There's your target every single time. If you have someone with Grey Weapon Master or Sharpshooter, they're also a really great target as well. Then again, obviously at the same time, if you have someone with Grey Weapon Master or Sharpshooter and they don't have advantage, and they're not like at least like 12th level, then they probably shouldn't be using it, but that's besides the point. Mastermind is weird because you have to sacrifice like the one thing that makes rogues really good to do something that isn't all that useful. Despite the thing that, like, Master of Tactics is awesome, but it's not good or useful, or like it's yeah. And it sucks because it is just not very good. In like the most irritating way possible. But I don't know. That's like, optimally speaking, you want to be ranged, as with all rogues, unless you're a Arcane Trickster or a Swashbuckler. You always want to be ranged as a rogue, always. I'm not sure about Soul Knife, but to play Sharpshooter optimally, you want a source of advantage. Obviously, Sharpshooter does get counterbalanced by Archery quite a lot. Like, that's good. But generally, optimal play with Sharpshooter and Grey Weapon Master is you want advantage, preferably a permanent form of it. That's why Shadow of Moil Hexblade is sort of like the optimal sort of way of using it. There are obviously other ways as well. Samurai is a great one. Using, I forget what the Samurai ability is called, like Vital Spirit, Fighting Spirit, something like that. The Samurai ability that they get is very, very good with Grow Master. You do reach a point where you don't need advantage, which is probably around like 12th. But prior to that, advantage is basically required for it to be in any way consistent and not just annihilate your turn. But yeah, that's sort of how it is. So I've not played a rogue personally, but I've seen every flavor of rogue. Probably Soul Knife. I don't know. I've only ever seen Phantom be played, but Soul Knife just on the raw cusp of it just getting more stuff than any other rogue probably means is automatically the best one. Phantom is still good though. I think Phantom is like distinctly like a, you know, sort of a B tier. Like it's good, but it's, you know, it's not mind blowing in any way. It seems pretty fun. I've got to say, I have a player playing one right now, and it looks decent fun. Yeah, looking at the rogue subclasses, Arcane Trickster without Booming Blade is useless garbage. Or Green Flame Blade, but Booming Blade mostly. Assassin is unusable garbage. Inquisitive is mostly garbage. They get like one good ability and everything else they get is useless. Mastermind is basically the same, except honestly it might be worse than Inquisitive. Like, every time I look at Insightful Fighting, I'm like, wow, this ability is really good, but Inquisitive gets nothing else, so honestly it's a toss-up between which one is worse. Phantom is pretty good. Scout is quite good as like a defensive self-preservation rogue. It's like actually quite good. Soul Knife just gets a litany of fucking shite, and most of it is pretty good, so it's just kind of the best one. Swashbuckler is the only Swashbuckler and Soul Knife are probably the only rogues that actually play differently to all of the other rogues because they actually do unique things. Swashbuckler is the only one that can be melee effectively. I mean, all of them can be melee, but it's a bad idea for the most part. Swashbuckler actually does it very, very well because they get the best part of mobile built in, which is pretty good. And then Thief is... I mean, you get like one good ability at 10th, and then your capstone is really good. But if you're picking a subclass for the capstone and nothing else, then what the fuck are you doing? Most campaigns, 99% of campaigns, do not go past level 15. 99% is too much. Like 90% of campaigns do not go past level 15. You ain't getting that fucking capstone. You ain't getting that extra turn as a thief. Why are you picking thief? What are you doing? I mean, maybe you want the climb speed, but again, like, climb speed isn't as good as you think it is. It's if you run climbing raw, climb speed is like nothing, basically. Yeah. All the rogue subclasses are bad, like almost universally. It's just like there are some good ones, but most of them are either bad or boring or both. There are interesting ones that are also bad. There is that too, like Mastermind and Inquisitive, which are super interesting and suck, which is really disappointing because Rogue is already just kind of like a C tier kind of class on its own anyway. But so there's plenty of new DMs out there who go, oh, sneak attack, it's so powerful, and then completely fail to grasp that that's like literally the only good abilities that rogues get. Like, I mean, they get other things. They get like expertise and uncanny dodge, and cunning action is like amazing. Cunning action is like almost worth 2-dipping rogue for in some classes. It's a rare dip, but honestly, in some cases, it's kind of worthwhile. But I don't know. That's my thoughts on the matter, and ultimately speaking, that's my thoughts as a someone who is. I want to call myself an optimizer. I would call myself as optimizing conscious. Like, I don't go out of my way to build hyper-optimized characters, but I'm never going to choose to build a character that is... make a character that is knowingly very underpowered. And I play with a good number of like people who are actual like proper optimizers. So, you know. But realistically, in your average game, picking a subclass that is bad is kind of doesn't matter, because most of the time it doesn't come up. Like unless your DM is an optimizer or you play with optimizers, you don't need to worry about optimizing your character, right? And if you do play with optimizers or your DM is an optimizer, then you should probably look into it or find a different group, because your fun will be inhibited by not doing it in a group of people who do, or it will be inhibited by doing it in a group of people who don't. Speaking from ample experience. I mean, like, Bard and Rogue both suffer the problem of bad subclasses. Bard has much better subclasses, mind you, but Rogue... yeah, so Rogue, you wouldn't want to level Rogue too high. You would want to take Rogue to 3 and stop. And then Bard, you would want to level from there, because Bard is like the better class of the two, generally speaking, at least. My assumption is you'd probably want to like maybe. Hang on, let me take a look at this. Like if yeah, I've looked into this before, and a lot of the subclasses do not pair well, like, at all. That's just because Bard and Rogue are both kind of rough classes to multi into. Rogue less so, but Bard much more so. I mean, Eloquence is like gives you a lot of things that, I mean, it gives you reliable talent at like level 3 for Deception and Persuasion, I think. Is it Deception and Persuasion? There is also Glamour and Whispers, which are both very in flavor. Yeah, but yeah, it gives you reliable talent for Persuasion and Deception, which is insane. Glamour and Whispers are cool. Swords is just good. And Creation, again, just good. Creation is good. When you get to 6th, you can make a guy to give you sneak attack. Because the guy, you make like, you animate like a fucking wardrobe or something, and it walks up to the enemy, and it's, you know, it's an allied creature within 5 feet. Sneak attack. Bam. Like, that's probably, objectively speaking, is probably the best one. But if you're going for flavor, Eloquence, Glamour, or Whispers, which take your pick, really. And then Rogue, it's like, if you want to optimize, I mean, if you're going Bard, Swashbuckler, I guess, is because you scale off of charisma better, and it lets you sort of go in. You don't have to waste your bonus action disengaging. Yeah, honestly, Swashbuckler and then like any Bard subclass, like the Bard subclass kind of doesn't matter. Creation is probably best. Eloquence, Glamour, and Whispers are probably most flavorful. Take your pick, really. They're all like okay. But I need to stat this book, so I'm gonna do that. I need to find Arcane Grimoire. Here we go. I can literally just snag the description from here. Yeah, they are good fun. I say I've talked about it before on here. I think my dream character is Changeling Bard Rogue with Charlatan, just because you just become a social manipulator god, and I am a super like I'm like an information gatherer as a player, and I would literally just use it to do all kinds of nonsense, because you don't need to like break the game to do like crazy shit. You literally just need to like use your abilities in a smart way. And you can just be like, oh yeah, I'm like, a character like that could become just a fucking crime lord or a master heist doer, I guess, like, on their own, like effortlessly on their own. It's just that powerful. The kind of shit that you can do as a changeling with spellcasting and rogue abilities, like, it's nuts. A changeling with disguise self, disguise kit proficiency, like, and then, I don't know, like, access to invisibility, detect thoughts, dream. Like, a changeling with dream and detect thoughts is like, what do you even do at that point, right? What do you even do? Like, you, like, cast detect thoughts. You transform yourself into whoever you want, disguise self to change your clothes, dream into someone's head, into, like, the head of someone near, or detect thoughts on a person, focus your thoughts on them, dream. I'm fairly certain that works. I'm not sure how the trance you're in dream, I'm not sure. Let me go read dream, actually. This is something I've always wanted to do, and I've never actually looked into whether it works. Can't take actions or move. How does detect thoughts work again? Oh. It does work. You just have to target them when you cast detect thoughts, and then you cast dream. And you have 10 minutes where your dream can influence their thoughts, and basically whatever means you desire. And you can read their surface thoughts as well. Like, perfect information gathering. Just 100% just perfect. That sounds amazingly good fun. You get like a guard or something with like +1 wisdom save, and they fail, obviously. Yeah, there's just so much you can do, and I really want to do it, but I'm never going to get the opportunity. The tome has 12 charges, regaining 1d10 +2. Using your spellcasting ability modifier. Okay, all of the spells I've given here are just bad. They're just bad spells. I'm just gonna change all of them. They're all just awful. So Blast of Darkness from Archive 1 in there. I considered, when I reworked the Archive of Esoteric Secrets, I have 2 of them. I just held up one finger. Just 2 of them. The big books of spells. You can grab them on the guild if you want. Like, plug, whatever. I reworked the first book about a year ago. And Blast of Darkness, I genuinely considered changing the name just because it sounds so goofy. Like, oh, I cast a Blast of Darkness. It's like, it sounds so fucking like cartoony and goofy and stupid. And I was like, no, the spell has been called Blast of Darkness for 2 years. I ain't changing it. And I didn't change it. Long story short, I didn't change it. It's still called Blast of Darkness. And it's incredibly stupid, and I love it. Right. What other spells do we want to... Blast of Darkness. Yeah, it is pretty ridiculous. There are a lot of like fun spell names from Archive 1. I have a personal favorite, and it's Hyperborean Star. It's a 9th level spell. It's a big ice explosion, and it does a fair amount of damage. Like for a 9th level, not like crazy high, but it also like restrains everyone that you catch in it. I think save or no. I can't remember. It's been a while, and I've only actually had a player cast it like the once. Because everybody else in my home game has been like, oh, have access to Wish? Yeah, I'm going to take Wish. And then they take Wish. Or they take Shape Change. Or Foresight. They take the objectively best 9th level spells instead of the funny damage spells. Which is, you know, it's kind of how that is, right? Like, you know, if you have the option to pick good 9th level spell, you pick the good one, as opposed to the, you know, the one that just does damage. Right. I need some more spells. I want this thing to have Shadow of Moil built into it, I think. Blast of Darkness. Let's get Fear. Let's get Hypnotic Pattern as well. Oh. One, two, three, 4, 5. Need like one more, I think. I probably just want like a flat damaging spell, maybe. Flat damaging, like spell that does necrotic damage. Do necrotic or psychic, those are the... Oh, hang on, I accidentally set concentration to on as opposed to specifically off. Dissonant Whispers, that's a good one. It's just like a good spell. And then let's get Tasha's Mind Whip, sure. That's another just like generically very good spell. Or Tasha's Mind Whip. I need to change the bot notifications. I'm getting a bit bored of them. They need to be something else pointless and stupid. Right. Chaos Sphere. As an action, you can expend 6 of the tomes charges to release 2 or to unleash a sphere of chaotic energy. Can't spell. Well, 12d6. At the end of each of your turns, the sphere moves 20 feet. The sphere collides with a solid surface. I'll just put object. So yeah, you send out the sphere. It goes in a straight line, or it goes in any direction you choose. And if it collides with an object, it damages the object. If the object is able to withstand the damage, it just plows right through. And if it doesn't just punch right through it, then the sphere just, burns a big old hole in it and just goes. There we go. So that's the other thing you can spend all of your points on. I might honestly increase this this radius and just let you place it somewhere within like 20 feet of you or whatever. Sentience. The term of of the fifth eye is a sentient, lawful, evil, wondrous item with intelligence of 20, a wisdom of 14, and a charisma of 10. Nab this from the original. We speak, read, and understand common, abyssal, common, infernal, as well as deep and quiet, akin to a hum while you're attuned to it. It understands every language you know. Oh, shit. Personality. Impetuous, is that the word I'm looking for? I think it is. No. Ah, yes. Jed, I'm fairly certain you, this IM I'm editing at the moment, I'm fairly certain you had it at one point. I don't remember though. I'm pretty sure you did. This thing. The Tome of the Fifth Eye. Big book with eyeballs on it. I think you had this at one point. I don't remember. Impetuous is the wrong word. Haughty tone. Oh, yeah. It's somewhat caught off guard if it is ever directly countered. If it is ever. Yeah, I thought so. I'd say that's all good. I'd say welcome back. It's somewhat caught off guard if it's words ever countered, isn't it? What is in the rest of the... There we go. Okay, right. That is that done. That is a lot of text. Ugh. Right, let me look up this next item. Okay, yeah, that's the, Umbra, Blade of the Eventide. Weapon, short sword. Legendary, requires attunement. From the depths of the Shadowfell. I mean, Phantom comes with a lot of like undead baggage, so that you would want to work that in somehow. And Inquisitive is like if you're playing a low-level campaign, Inquisitive is kind of fine because Insightful Fighting is actually like really good. The main thing is that like all the other abilities you get are just kind of bad. But if you're okay, yeah, you probably rework it fairly. Yeah, I guess it specifically is about like souls and shit, which devils very explicitly care about. So yeah, that makes sense. That's yeah, I say if you want to go down the I'm getting souls for Asmodeus or miscellaneous other Archduke kind of vibe, then Phantom works really well. And if you're playing low levels, you don't have to feel too bad about like picking Inquisitive, because like Insightful Fighting is actually really good. Like it's really strong. So yeah, it's up to you. Oh. Obsidian blade with wicked sharp edges. Take a look at your message in a sec. I'm just finishing this. It's described from Amethyst Gemstone. It contains a swirling dark power. Okay. Oh no, there wasn't a new one. I saw it and I thought it popped up on the right, but it did not. Basically, my setup at the moment is obviously main screen. I got Word here, and then over here I have like where the items are on the left, and I have Twitch in another tab because I genuinely like, because over here on the other side I've got Streamlabs, so I don't have any space to put chat. So I have to sort of tab in and look at it every so often. Like I see it come up in like the stream preview on Streamlabs, and I'm like, oh, there was a message, and I thought there was one, but no, it was just an old one that I hadn't that I re-noticed and thought was a new thing, which big smart from me. Right. So this item is cool. It has like a cool ability, but it is generally not very good. Sunder does this, doesn't it? No. There is an item here that does the thing that I want. Shackle of Serpentstone, Rod of Ruin. Queen's Scar, does that do it? Yes. Necrotic damage, there we go. I think the steady. I generally don't think about the touch as optional features because I largely don't allow them at my table. But that's a fair point. But I think the I think you get steady aim for free anyway, and they stack. Because the main thing with Rogue is you're always fighting for what you want to use your bonus action for, right? You're always fighting for that. Whereas with Insightful Fighting, you don't necessarily need, at all with Steady Aim, with Steady Aim you don't need to hide every turn. Like, you don't have to be useful in a fight. And obviously Steady Aim is the same, but you still have to, like, eat a bonus action for it. With Insightful Fighting, you set up one bonus action, and then you get it for as long... How many times can you use it, I guess, is the main thing. Insightful Fighting. Oh yeah, you can use it as much as you want. Yeah. So you use a bonus action, you gain this benefit against the target, and then you don't ever need to hide again. Like don't get me wrong, advantage is great, but you still have steady aim. So they stack. Obviously you don't need the advantage for the sneak attack either, but it lets you be a lot more consistent, which is Rogue's biggest weakness, is they're super inconsistent. It requires your team, or certainly at low levels, they're very inconsistent. Once you get into high enough levels, where it's like, do you have a place to hide? Okay, you now, you auto-succeed on your stealth check, you are hidden. But, yeah, that is sort of Rogue's biggest weakness, is they are super inconsistent in getting sneak attack. And steady aim is, obviously is a great way of combating that, but it still eats one of your precious bonus actions every time you want to use it, whereas Insightful Fighting eats one bonus action, and it's almost certainly going to work because you have obviously taken expertise in Insight, because if you haven't, as an Inquisitive Rogue, you're a dumbass. Like, you're an idiot. Like, why would you not do that? That's like your core class feature, requires Insight. You take Insight expertise. You probably take it over stealth. But yeah, yeah, it's you, like, obviously in the situations where you can still use steady aim and get the benefits from it, but yeah, this is my thoughts on it. I think like Inquisitive has that one feature which almost justifies its whole existence because it is genuinely actually like really good at low levels. It's just every other feature they get is like useless. Whereas something like Phantom, none of Phantom's features are anywhere near as good as Insightful Fighting, but they're all pretty good. Like they're all like a solid like this is a good ability. Whereas Insightful Fighting is like, wow, this is fantastic, and then everything else they get is useless. I say that they do have they have like one other rogue thing. It's they get Ear for Deceit, which is dumb. The extra required damage dealt with weapon attacks made using do I need the word wide there? Let me go look at shadows. Yes. Normally in dim light and darkness, magical or non-magical, out of a range of 120 feet. I would definitely disagree on Assassin being good in any scenario. Thief is generally pretty bad. Arcane Trickster with Booming Blade is good, in all other situations is bad. I think, everything else is like... I think Phantom is just pretty good in general. I don't think there's a specific build you need for Phantom. I think it's just good. I don't think it's especially better on ranged, to my knowledge. But it's just generically pretty okay. I mean, all rogues, except for Swashbucklers, are better ranged, just like, objectively. The only ones you missed, I think, are Mastermind and Scout. Mastermind is... Sadly, I think I've come to terms with the fact it's just worse than Inquisitive. It's just worse. And Scout is boring but good. It's very defensive in a interesting but not very... In an interesting but also kind of boring way. Yeah, say the, yeah, I don't even think you get summon, like a summon spell early enough as an arcane trick. I think the earliest summon spell wizards get are at 3rd. I mean, yeah, I think, like, I mean, Mastermind gets, like, good, like out-of-combat abilities, generally speaking. It gets like some good proficiencies and stuff. Inquisitive gets some niche but vaguely useful out-of-combat abilities, emphasis on vaguely. And then like Arcane Trickster gets good out-of-combat abilities, but it's like, if you're measuring a class based on power, its out-of-combat abilities generally don't come into the fold, like, at all. Like, they can, but most classes are not built with out-of-combat in mind. They're built with combat, with some fluff abilities. And even then, very few classes actually get any of that. It's more, you know, it's like cherry on top, you know. Yeah, I'm not sure how Wells from the Grave works, so you may well be right. Okay, yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think in melee it's still good, but yeah, it is probably better ranged. And as with all rogues, it is better ranged. But yeah, there is yeah, my only sort of major sort of disagreements with Nasir is like assassin is never good. Like assassin is universally a terrible subclass that gives you no good abilities. Assassinate is a trap. You will never get to use it, and I would wager that like 90% of the times your DM has said that it works, probably doesn't actually work. Just because of how surprise is so fucking fiddly. Oh, good god, assassin should be good. It should be fantastic, but it's not. It's fucking terrible. Assassin gets like no actual abilities. Like even their capstone, Death Strike, is bad because it's a con save. Like it's just bad, which sucks because it's like it's like the coolest kind of rogue. Even the fluff abilities they get are just not good. They're interesting. I'll give them that. Like Imposter and oh no, what the fuck are they called? I don't think they're called Imposter. They're called something else. He gets two. He gets one at 9th and one at 13th, and they both suck. Oh no, Infiltration Expertise and Imposter. Both of them are interesting, but neither of them are good. Like, or useful in your average campaign, like at all. I can't remember what did I do to Assassin to make it good in my home game. Let me go. I'm spending so much time just talking about game balance, but that's fine. Like it's good fun. It's good fun. Right, I'm opening up my home game documents. Where is Assassin? Okay, Assassinate. Assassinate does the same thing, but it has two other things built in. It gives you oh no, it has one extra ability so that you can actually use it. In that you roll d10s rather than d6s for the damage of your sneak attack in the first round of combat, which is like actually something tangible. Like it's a significant bonus to your damage, even at level 3, where you have 2 sneak attack dice. You're going from an average of 7 to 11 damage, which is like quite a lot. And then the higher you get, when you're like 10th level and you have 5 sneak attack damage or 5 sneak attack dice, that goes from 5d6, which is like what is that, like 17? Nah. Yeah, like 17. It goes to like 27 or something absurd. Yeah, 17 to 27, and then at 20th level, when you've got like your 10 sneak attack damage dice, you're going from 35 to 55 damage, which is huge. Yeah, I say that though. That's like the poison proficiencies in like your average game is like nothing, because most things you fight once you get into higher levels are immune to poison. And yeah, like the surprise is like if your DM runs it in a way where it's favorable, then like that, then Assassinate is god. But if they run surprise anywhere near to raw, which is hard to do, so most people don't do it. It's garbage. It's fucking terrible. What else? I jammed all of the I just got rid of Infiltration Expertise because it's just not useful. And I put Imposter at 9th, put in a new ability called Prowler. When you roll initiative, unless you are surprised, you may immediately move up to your speed. If you end this movement in a suitable location, you can immediately take the hide action. And it also gives you one of the better parts of Skulker, where you can hide when only lightly obscured. And then Death Strike, I can't remember how I changed. How did I change Death Strike? Oh, I made it so that Death Strike has no save, and then instead they save against them taking the maximum possible damage from the attack. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, say assassin bad is basically my end take. All of the PHB rogue subclasses are bad. All of them are terrible. As of Tasha's, Arcane Trickster is actually really good now because of Booming Blade. Giving Booming Blade to a rogue is it's good shit. It's good shit. Just flat increase to rogue's damage, and punishes people from getting in their face. They also let you be a melee rogue, which is cool. You could also just be a Swashbuckler and take Magic Initiate, which is, like, objectively better. But, you know, you could still take Arcane Trickster. Like, you can be a Vuman, like a Vuman rogue, Swashbuckler, Booming Blade, run away, and then hide if you want. You get a lot of cool shit out of it. Oh. I'm going to give it another ability in a minute, because that used to be all it had. Oh, shit. The weapon can speak common. Sometimes the whispers critically so loud. Yeah, Scout is, Scout's just kind of, like, I'm personally, like, not even slightly interested by Scout, but it is, you know, it is neat. Like, Skirmisher is very, very good, and, superior mobility is, like, you know, you do get, like, one of the better parts of, like, mobile, which is pretty sweet. Ambushmaster is cool. I actually really like Ambushmaster. Right. Personality. Alright, cryptic words. Those who yeah, the Ranger subclasses across the board are generally very badly designed. There are some really interesting ones, but it's mostly just on the grounds of, like, Ranger is a very badly designed class, and the patchwork fixes from Tasha's are nice, but they still don't make it good. Post-Tasha's Beastmaster is good, which is a weird thing to say, but they completely reworked the way the companion works, and it's actually really good now. Drake Warden, I don't really know and I don't really care. It's probably just as good as Beastmaster, maybe better. Fey Wanderer, I think, is okay. Gloom Stalker is kind of like the meme one that is really good, but in a way that's sort of not actually, like, it's not that good, but it's like everybody says it's like the best thing since sliced bread, and it's just like, it's not that good. Like, it's good, you know, it's like, you know, 8 out of 10, but there's better shit out there. Horizon Walker is cool, but man, it feels like a trap. Just because of how shit and annoying Planar Warrior is. It's cool, but yeah. Hunter is okay. Monster Slayer is just kind of boring, and Swarmkeeper is weird, but it's kind of good. It's just one of those things where all of the Ranger subclasses feel like super unsatisfying just because of how bad the base class is and how much trash you just get dumped on you. It sucks. It's a whole thing. I don't think it does. So I'm pretty sure there isn't, like, Hunter of all things, I don't think has, any infinite combos. I say like, Horizon Walker's good fun though. Like, putting Misty Step on a Ranger was a cool idea, and I'm glad they did it. Like, I just wish that any of their abilities beyond Distant Strike were good. That's the main thing. Because, man, Distant Strike is like the one good ability that Horizon Walker gets, and all the others are just bad. Right. I need another ability for Umbra. Oh, I have an idea, actually. Oh yeah, that was for a project that's currently in like editing hell at the moment. As I forget what it's called. The Emissary, I think. That was really fun to build, actually. That was really fun. I want to get back to making subclasses at some point. But it's the kind of thing where I'm like, I don't want to just make them for the sake of it, because I want to actually save them for, you know, places where I want to use them. Because I could just sit here and, you know, bash out subclasses until I die. Let me go find it. Yeah, say the that project that I made that I wrote that subclass for, among others that I did around the same time, has been like the editor has been sat on that fucking thing for months and has made like no progress on it whatsoever. Yeah. Yeah, you get some ranger spells, or not ranger spells, you get cleric spells as a ranger, which, you know, is good. You get the generic, I use my bonus action and do extra damage on my next attack. Later on you get a way to do more with that. You get command after a while. Yeah, I mostly got it so that you could be a ranger with spiritual weapon and, or you can be a ranger with healing word, which is like, you know, it's given the best spell in the game. You know, casual stuff. Well, it's not literally the best spell in the game, but it's the best spell that, you know, you can get access to at level 1. Oh, I didn't. Oh, there we go. I say it took me forever to come up with like the theme for it. I was sat on Ranger stuff for forever because Ranger just feels like it's impossible to design for, because it's just sort of like it's kind of just like a whatever class, and there's no like core features for you to bounce off of either. You have to just make something new entirely. You can't be like, oh, what if we made a subclass that really cares about doing this? You know, like I don't know, like a rogue subclass that really cares about cunning action in some way. I don't know what that would do or what that would mean in any way, but you know, that's as an example. Using just like a core class feature to like design a whole thing around that uses it in a unique way. You can't do that with Ranger. You have to just make shit up. I actually ended up making 2 Ranger subclasses like back to back because I wrote the Accursed Ranger for Van Richten's Pocketbook to Ravenloft, which is like a whole other, like, it's another Ranger subclass which is like bonkers. Has like a built-in basically all of the good Ranger subclasses have like a bonus action buff your next attack ability, and that one curses them with a die that they either have to use and subtract from a roll, or they take damage on their next turn, and they have to choose to use it or choose to take the damage, which is one of those things where it's like if you leave the choice in the enemy's hands, they're always going to choose what's best for them. But even so, it felt kind of good. It was good fun, I think. I can't remember what else that it did, but that was like its core thing, that it would curse enemies by doing its thing. There was a barbarian subclass in there as well that it was like, I had just finished playing Bayonetta for the first time, and I was like, damn, how do we represent like Bayonetta's nonsense in 5th edition? Let's put it on a barbarian, and so I did, and it's ridiculous. I think it's whilst you're raging, whenever someone makes a weapon attack against you, you roll a d20, and if you roll a 20, they automatically miss you, and you get a bunch of benefits. And eventually it gets down to like 18 or something, so every time someone attacks you, you have a 15% chance of like them just outright missing you, no matter what they rolled. And you getting a boatload of benefits against them. It's very silly. You do eventually get to like walk on walls and like run, do dumb shit. There is a point where you get to like immediately make a reaction attack against them or something. It's a whole thing, and it's real dumb. And I really like it. Yes, that you go into witch time is basically what it is. Because again, I had just finished playing Bayonetta. The first one specifically. I still need to play the second one. I need to get it and play it, because man, it looks fun. I mean, let me find it actually. I do have Van Richten's on hand. I'm partway through writing a sort of sequel to it, because good god, I love writing Ravenloft stuff. It's so fun. Path of the Witchblood. There we go. Eldritch Instincts. While you are not wearing armor or not wielding a shield, you add your AC your charisma mod to your AC, so you just get an even better unarmored defense. Additionally, whenever a creature makes an attack roll against you while you're raging, roll a d20. On a roll of 19 or 20, the attack triggers your Eldritch Instincts, causing the attack to automatically miss and granting you the following benefits against that creature until the end of your next turn. Whenever you make an attack roll against the creature, it suffers a penalty to its AC equal to your charisma modifier against the attack. You double your rage damage bonus on damage rolls made against that creature. The bonus damage dealt by your rage is instead dealt as force damage. So yeah, your rage damage bonus is +2, it's instead 4, and that damage is force damage, and their AC is lower. And then at 6th, you can walk across difficult surfaces, including along walls or upside down on ceilings, without making ability checks, and your jump distance is tripled. Additionally, whenever a creature triggers your Eldritch Instincts, you may move to half your speed towards that creature. without provoking opportunity attacks. And then at 10th, yeah, you can, like... Yeah, there's so much silly nonsense that you get. It's great fun. I love it. Yeah. Right, I'm gonna finish this item and I'm gonna take a break, because I need to, like, go grab some food. I need to go look at, like, the monk ability. The monk shadow ability. Where is it? There, I'll just call it that, whatever, it's fine. Okay. I assume the ranged attack does, like, no damage, but it just marks them or something. So that sounds cool. I like that. That's fun. Linear is when you make a ranged attack during this postration. Yeah, I'm not familiar with Lightning Arrow because bad spell, but I would assume that, well, obviously the rules as intended is that it is not infinite. So, yeah, like, if like, the obvious rules as intended is that it isn't infinite, then, like, no DM would allow it, right? Because otherwise it's just, like, an infinite solution to every single problem. It's like, if you have, you know, 100 pieces of ammunition on your person, which is not unfeasible, you can have, like, 7 quivers on you. Sorta, at least. It's just like an infinite solution to every problem. And there are sources of infinite ammunition as well. There's like, I would have to look into it a bit, but yeah, I'm not familiar with, like, Lightning Arrow, and I've never seen anyone play Hunter. I know that it's good, but no one I know has ever played it. Yeah, that seems... yeah, that seems even more jank. I have a feeling it might work, but even then, I definitely have my doubts. But either way, I'm gonna go take a break here. I'll be back in like 10 or 15 minutes. When I get back, I will have about 15, you know, sort of 10-15 minutes before I actually need to go to a game. So if you need to head off now, that's all good. Thanks for sticking about today, folks. It's been quite good fun. Gotten like nothing done, but it's been good fun. Like, I'm not bothered by that even slightly. So, yeah. Say I will be back in pretty about 10 or 15 minutes. I'm just gonna grab some food because I'm fucking hungry. It's like 6 p.m. Well, 6:30 p.m. and I haven't eaten since like 1. But yeah, I will be back in sort of 10 to 15 minutes. I'll see you in a minute. Hey folks, I'm back. Okay, right. I'll just ping off into space. The jar never fails to be funny to me. Never. It'll always be mildly amusing, at least. Yeah, I got about 10 minutes before I need to go. I'm gonna probably bash out one more magic item and then head off, most likely. Oh. Okay, simple stuff. God, it's in my throat. Fuck. Oh shit. Holding the blade to... For its attacks. For its attack. Stack damage rolls. Need to go look at how grappling works. Okay, there we go. Well, reasonably simple anyway. I'm probably going to make this its own thing. Let's call it Ancient Bolt. Oh, just clear my throat. Where is Turnock? There. Let me just check the wording of scrying real quick, make sure this works. It's cool. That's a cool ability. Or similar reality bending magic. Is it not with an A or with an O? It's with an O. There. Simple enough. God, I need to clear my throat. Fuck. Looking at the next two magic items, they're actually both very simple, so I'm going to try and bash those out real quick. Just before I need to go. This doesn't feel like a attuned magic item. Like, it's good, but it's not that good. Gives you scrying once per day and gives you, like, 2 relatively whatever abilities that will very rarely come up. The last one is a much shorter item, a vitalizing weapon. Weapon, any, rare. Simple stuff. Actually, like, basically worked the same. I didn't really need to change much at all. But either way, I need to head off here. Because I have a game to go to, like, right now. So I'm going to go do that. Hope folks have enjoyed themselves. I do this every week on a Monday. I'm actually going to be back on Wednesday because I want to finish all of these items. Yeah, so it's all good. It's all good. Thanks for stopping by, people. I'll be attempting to finish all these magic items on Wednesday. Most likely, sort of like 2 PM GMT on Wednesday for 2-3 hours, however long it takes. Because I am like very nearly finished and I want to just, I want to get it done. The last magic items are variable in their complexity. Some of them are very, very complex. Some of them are pretty simple. Either way, I'm going to sort those out when I get there. I'm going to head off here. Hope folks enjoy themselves. I'll hopefully see some of you on Wednesday. On Friday, I'll be back playing Skyward Sword, and on Sunday I'm going to start Pokemon Sword, because I just finished Arceus, like the vast majority of it anyway. But either way, I'm going to head off now. See ya!